Hey guys, Jonathan here at the Northwich Makerspace. We're now open, we've got people down here making stuff, and one thing we've missed out on is the tools. A workshop is only as good as its tools, so we need to get them sorted, and we need them sorted in shadow foam as well. It's the only way to organise tools. So we've got this big old cupboard over here behind me. It's got loads of drawers in it and it's got shelves, and we've also got loads of hand tools. We've got chisels and some fine woodworking stuff. So let's show you how we organise that. So this is Sealey's Premier Industrial range. We've got one of their cupboards, we've got one of their roll cabs too, and inside we've got 7 drawers, and we're going to be organising them with shadow foam inserts. And we're going to be doing something we don't do very often, which is some classic woodworking tools. We've got 2 of these really cool Irwin Marples chisel sets, which we're going to be getting in foam. We've also got 2 of these faithful carpentry sets, which have got like a plane, they've got a little scribe, they've got block planes, and they've got a square. Looks great. So we're going to be taking these out of the boxes, organising them in shadow foam, and getting the top 2 drawers dialed in, and then hopefully we can get the whole set sorted out in shadow foam. And let's get into it. Let's get all the tools out. Right, so that is all the tools. We've got 2 sets of the faithful carpentry kits, and we've got 2 sets of the Irwin Marples chisels. We've also got 2 of these, although one of them has gone walkabout, so hopefully this is enough to use as the profile. We've got a few other bits and bobs that I've kind of picked up and sorted them all. They're all woodworking category. Whether or not we fit this little mitre block in there, whether or not we fit the extra hammers and stuff, I don't know, but that's where the layout comes in. So I'll get some foam and we'll get the layout sorted. So that's the layout all sorted. I'm really happy with the 2 layouts there. They're both looking symmetrical. They're looking really good. We've got all of the chisels done top and tail to fit them all in. So that's a pretty good tip if you're trying to squeeze more tools into your insert. If you top and tail them like this, you can get a little bit more space. And that way we've got the full 2 sets in there, all in size order, which looks really good. Should be nice and easy to use. And then in this one, we've got the 2 faithful joinery sets, which again, we're using the quirky angles of the items that kind of like jigsawing together to get really nice space in between the items. The closest we've got there is like 20 mil between items, which is really good. I mean, you only need items like 10 mil, 8 to 10 mil apart, but that's ideal. That looks really good. So that's the layout sorted. All we have to do now is take a photo of that.
Ah, perfect.
Because if I don't do that, I'm going to forget where everything went. Once you've got a photo, we get on to cutting. So when it comes to cutting, all you need is one of our cutting kits. This has got everything you need in it. It's got the anti-cut gloves, scalpel, blades, repair glue, instructions, everything you need to get started cutting foam. The foam is from our custom size page on shadowfoam.com. So this is 50 mil red, and then we've got the width and length. You plug those in on the custom size page and you can get inserts exactly like this. So let's get this kit open, let's get my anti-cut gloves on, and let's get cutting. Right, so we've done all the cutting and I'm really happy with how that's worked out. The space in between the chisels is nice and equal across the whole thing. And then we've got this looking fantastic as well. I love that layout, lovely and symmetrical. So pretty standard when it comes to cutting in shadow foam. We just place the item where we want it to go, cut around it lightly using the scalpel like a pencil. So we're just going lightly around the item until we've met back up at the start. We can then move the item out of the way, make that cut as deep as we need it to be, and then peel back the foam. So you just start in one corner or one end and then just use your finger to plough the foam out. So it's dead simple. We have used a little bit of a different technique with this item here, the square and this marking gauge, because we've got like one segment of the tool is much deeper than the rest. So we've cut that in first, cut that down deep, and then done the other section a little bit shallower. So that's a nice little tip for when it comes to cutting in items that have multiple depth parts to them. The only thing that's left now is doing some finger pulls. Most of these things you'll be able to get out quite easily anyway, but with something like this chisel set, we do want a finger pull all the way across. So for that, we're going to use a straight edge. Whatever I've got to hand that's perfectly straight, we'll use to cut a nice finger pull on that all the way across. And on this one, we'll use one of our stencil sets. So these are available on shadowfoam.com, and we've just got a range of circles and radiuses. And we're going to use our middle-sized one here and cut in 30mm circles just left and right of the handles of the plane, and just basically to make it dead easy to use, make it easy to get the items out. So let me sort that out, and then let's try and get these chucked in the drawer. So that's all the finger pulls done. We've got the long straight one there on the chisels. We've got all the little circles on this drawer, and that's just going to make it a lot easier to use. So let's bang it in the drawer. I'll start with this one. So that's 2 of the drawers sorted, and I know that's a really solid start to find woodworking tools, but I'd love to hear what tools we should get. Let us know in the comments any of your suggestions, or if you remember, head over to the Discord, let me know. I'd love some ideas for what woodworking tools or just general tools would be a benefit in here. We have got some mallets and stuff. If you're coming down to the space and you remember, root through this cupboard, have a look and make some suggestions what you think we should add to it. And we'll also get all them decked out in shadow foam. But the work didn't stop there, because that's hand tools. We need to get some power tools in here. So there was a gap in the wall over there. We filled that gap with power tools. Let me show you how we did it. So yeah, we had a full trolley load of Ferrex Power Tools, and these are great value and really good solid tools. So because we needed a lot of power tools down here, you can't just have one set of drills. We've got 4 combi drills, we've got 4 impact drills, and a whole heap of batteries and chargers. So we're going to get them organised in a power tool wall. Now I've got a gap over there, which is perfectly sized, or pretty sure it's going to be the right size for one of our medium sheets. So we'll have a 50mm and a 30mm pair of medium sheets in blue, Makerspace blue, got to be done when it's down here. And medium sheets are the most cost-effective way to do these big power tool walls, because we can just have one 50mm sheet, cut all the way through it, have a 30mm backer, and that's all you need, and we'll build a really simple frame around it, put a bit of a trim round to make sure it doesn't fall out, and hopefully it's going to be a dead simple build. So I think we're going to go for 2 sets of an impact driver and a combi on the left, 2 sets on the right, and then all the batteries down the middle. That should give us a nice symmetrical layout, and we can get it all cut in. And let's get into it. Right, so that's all the cutting done. I'm really pleased with how that went. And the process for cutting shadow foam, it couldn't be easier. I've used one of our cutting kits, which has got everything in it you need. It's got the scalpel, blades, it's got the anti-cut gloves, it's got the repair glue for if you make any mistakes, it's got stickers and instructions. So everything you need to cut the foam is in our cutting kits. They come free with a lot of the orders on shadow foam, depending how much you spend, and they are available individually as well. So links in the description for that, shadowfoam.com, down in the description below. But when it comes to cutting the foam, all you have to do is place the item where you want it to go, cut around it with the scalpel. You're using the scalpel like a pencil, so you're just cutting lightly around the item. Once you've gone all the way around, you can remove the item out of the way and then cut down deeper. For this, we're cutting all the way through because we've got a 50mm layer and a 30mm. So for this, we're just literally cutting all the way through. But if it was a bit shallower, you would just cut as deep as you need to go and then peel back the foam. Right, so that's all the cutting done. So all we need to do now is cut in the finger pulls. So we're going to be doing a semicircle either side of the triggers on the drills and the impactors. Once we've done that, I'll then flip it over, put all of these cutouts back in, and then we can spray glue it all, take the inserts out, and that'll give us some perfectly masked off foam, which we can then bond the 50mm and 30mm layer together. Right, so let's get on with it. Right, so that's all done, all glued, and we've got all the finger pulls in, so I'd say that is the hard bit done, or maybe it's the easy bit, I don't know, depending what perspective you're looking at it from. We've certainly done a big part of the project. All we need now is a frame to house this in, to then put it on the wall. So, we're at the Makerspace. If you don't know what the Makerspace is, go back and watch this video, click that, or click the link in the description. This is a space that we built in 100 days. It's a community workshop, and it's got a full woodworking shop, metalworking shop, 3D printers, craft room, everything in here. You can be a member, you can use all of the facilities down here. So I've been routing through the scrap pile, and I've got a piece of OSB. People call it all sorts of things. I call it OSB. Some people call it sterling board. Some people call it chipboard. But essentially, it's nice solid board, and I've got some of it here, so it's free. You can see it's all over the walls. And then we've got some architrave. So all of the doors have got architrave around them, and we've got some spare. So I've got 2 short pieces, 2 long pieces, and this will do for a really nice looking frame, which can hold this in. So we'll cut these down on the miter saw, and then we'll have a lovely looking frame to hold the beam in. So all we need now is the actual physical frame that goes round the foam to house the foam, hold it tight on the board. So again, we've found some scrap wood. This is 75mm. This is tannalized timber, so it's not planed all round, which I'd have preferred, but it's 75mm, which is what we need, and we'll be able to make a frame with that. So next thing we're gonna do, we've got to rip this down to size on the panel saw, cut these rails on the miter saw, so that'll give you a little bit of an inside scoop on the Makerspace, and then we can pin it all together and get it up on the wall. So let's get everything cut up. Go. Right, so that is the frame all done. We've added the architrave to the front, which is holding the foam in place, but we've only put it on with screws, so if we do need to change out the foam, change the design, change the colour, whatever it is, we can easily just unscrew these rails, take the foam out and go again. I'm really happy with how this has come out because it's really solid. So the big question now is, how do we mount this big lump on the wall? Well, the best way to do something like this is with something called a French cleat. So we'll take some of our scrap bit of timber, we'll use the wood shop, which is next to me, and we'll cut some 45-degree rails. So we've done a French cleat wall before. Go and check that one out here, you're gonna love it. We're gonna do the same with this. So let's cut the rails down to size, we'll mount them on the wall, and we'll get this fitted and then see what it finally looks like with all the tools in it. So let's go in the wood shop. Right, so I've got a bit of skirting board, which is going to be perfect for the French cleat, and we can chop it up in here on the radial arm saw. So what we'll end up with is 2 rails with a 45-degree angle on each of them. We can mount one of those rails on the power tool panel, we can mount the other on the wall, and what that means is that when we mount it on the wall, it'll spread the load, spread the weight across the whole bar, rather than having it on like 2 nails or 2 screws or something. Also, we can lift it on and off the wall dead easy. So French cleats are the way to go. And this is the perfect tool for ripping down these cleats. So I've got the head rotated. All we do now is rotate that into 45 degrees, and then I can push the timber through and cut it. So let's get going. Right, so we've got our 2 pieces. We've got 2 nice rails here, 45 degrees on each. So all we need to do is flip this power tool wall over. So that is going to be the top. This is the top. Yeah, so that's the top there. We want to mount that rail. Whoa. And we're going to go with that one on the wall. We'll mount that one on the back here. And we can just mount that nice and squarely there. Then this one will go opposite angle, mounted to the wall, and that's going to be perfect. We'll also have to just put a quick little spacer here so it hangs nice and squarely on the wall. But yeah, let's get that fixed on. So there you go, all done. It's in the space, ready for you to use. So whatever projects you've got that need a drill or an impact driver, they're all here, all the batteries, all the chargers. We do have another project actually, getting all these chargers mounted. So if you're a member or you want to be a member and you want to come down and help me sort that out, I'd love some help. We've got some members in the space already using the laser upstairs, using the 3D printers and the woodworking shop. It's coming along nicely down here and it's nice to see some activity and some things getting made. So I can't wait to share some of the projects that we've been doing down here with you. So make sure you're subscribed, click the bell icon so you don't miss those videos, and head over to northwichmakerspace.co.uk where you can now do a virtual tour. That's pretty insane, isn't it? The virtual tour is amazing. You can literally click around this space, look at every room, and see the whole space exactly as it is. So that's amazing. It's all in HD. So head over to Northwich Makerspace, check out the virtual tour, and check out the membership options because we'd love to have you as a member down here. So all that being said, thanks very much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.